your goal in 2024 is to improve your English, speak English correctly and fluently, this video is just for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your coach Annie, and in this video, I am going to share with you steps to improve your English in 2024. I know a lot of y'all face the same kind of problems. For example, you are afraid to speak in English. You feel nervous, words don't come to your mind goes blank and whatnot when you're trying to speak in English. In this video, I'm going to share a blueprint on how you are going to improve your English, what are the steps that you need to follow, and what are the resources that you are going to use. So without wasting any more of your time, let's begin. The first thing you are going to do is stop the limiting belief. Yes, what happens is most of the time we can't do a certain thing because even before trying the thing, we stop ourselves. We think that, okay, it's difficult. I'm always afraid. I'm always nervous. Words don't come to my mind. I'll just stop trying. I'll not do anything. And this is the limiting belief that we have in our minds. Even before trying the thing, we feel that it is too difficult. It is not going to happen. I've been trying to improve my English since so many years, but it's not happening. Why will it happen now, right? So this is the thing that you are going to change. Come on, it's just a language. English is a language and you will learn it. It's okay. You with daily practice, with the steps that I tell you, you are going to do it. Don't push yourself back or don't limit yourself thinking that because of my past experiences, because of the effort or the years that I've put in and I've not got any results, I cannot do that thing. So don't limit yourself before even trying. See, there are a lot of things, a lot of goals that we want to achieve in life, right? And we make certain goals for ourselves at the starting of every year and we feel that I am going to achieve this thing. But if you don't start with a positive mindset, if you don't believe that you have the power to do that thing, that thing is not going to come to you. See, our mind is a magnet. Like whatever you think, you're going to attract the same thing. So if you think positive things, you will attract positivity. If you think of negative things, you will attract problems and all of those things. So the first thing you're going to do is stop that limiting belief. Don't think that it's impossible or it's a very big goal. It's just a language and you will do it. Now coming to a second point, create an artificial surrounding. What is an artificial surrounding? I don't even recall in how many videos I have talked about this artificial surrounding. I talk about this in almost every video of mine. What is artificial surrounding? See, the very reason we are trying to learn English is because English is not our native language. It is not our mother tongue. It is not even the language that we are often surrounded with, right? If you go to the native English-speaking countries, the Western countries, English is their mother tongue. It's their native language. It is their surrounding. The reason you are so fluent in your mother tongue, may it be Hindi, Marathi, whatever, the reason you can speak in your mother tongue so effortlessly is because you have a surrounding of it. You have done that thing. You have been in that surrounding since your childhood. So it comes very easily to you. It comes very naturally to you. And English, on the other hand, is not our mother tongue. It is not even the language that we are most of the time surrounded in. So of course you're not going to be comfortable with that language. You're not going to be natural while speaking it. You're always going to feel that, okay, it is something very different from what I usually do. It is something very different from what I usually speak in. And this is exactly what we want to change. We have to create an artificial English surrounding because we were not exposed to that language during our childhood, right? If we were exposed to that language, if we had that surrounding, then of course we would not have the need to learn it. Okay, but because we don't have that surrounding, we are going to create that surrounding for us. And how do you create any kind of surrounding? Just switch the things that you do in your native language with English. For example, if you have the habit of listening to songs, listen to English songs. If you have the habit of watching movies, watch English movies. If you have the habit of watching sports, watch the commentary which is in English. If you have the habit of watching news, watch English news. So this is how you are going to create that artificial English surroundings. Surround yourself with English language. The more you hear it, the more you read it, the more you talk in it, it is going to create a artificial surrounding, and it is going to impact and make your learning process much faster, because it has to be a natural thing for you. It has to be something that you do every day. For example, when you are trying to learn how to ride a bike, okay, or drive a car, no matter how much you practice on the ground, the first couple of times you take it out on the road, you are very scared, you are nervous. I'm going to fall down, I'm going to hit somebody, something is going to happen. And when you do it for a certain amount of time, like for example, if you drive every day, you don't even think that I am driving. But remember when you had just learned driving, how difficult it was, how unnatural, how external it felt. And that is the same with English. You have to make English your everyday thing. You have to make English your habit, your routine, and get comfortable. Get comfortable hearing English, reading in English, speaking in English, because if you are not comfortable with that language, it is not going to come naturally to you. It is not going to come easily to you. The second step is to create an artificial English surrounding. Step number 3, create a routine. Don't just think that, okay, whenever I get time in the day, I will practice English, I'll do this, I'll do that. No. If you want to really commit yourself, if you really want to see improvements, if you really want to see results, I would suggest you, I would actually not suggest, I would convince you, I would force you to set some time apart from your day. Fix a routine that, okay, I have free time between 6 to 7 p.m. or I'm free during the mornings. Whenever you are free, make sure that at least 1 hour you dedicate to learning English. This is going to be my learning time. This is going to be the time where I do things, where I do exercises that are going to help me improve my language. Creating an artificial surrounding is a different thing. It is going to happen throughout the day. It is going to happen throughout your week. It is going to happen naturally, like without even thinking about it. Creating a natural surrounding is a different thing. Creating a routine, setting time aside for it is a different thing. Just watching movies, listening to podcasts, or listening to songs is not your study routine. Study routine is something that you must have. I'm not telling that these things are not going to help. These things are an add-on to what you would actually study. And if you really want to see results, if you want to speed the process of your results of your learning, then I would suggest you to set a time aside. This is super important. You cannot just fix any time of the day, like I'll go to gym whenever I feel like and I'll get fit. I will study whenever I feel like and I'll get good marks. The same is with English. The same is with learning English. Don't think that ho jayega, yeah, we'll see. Don't. Fix a time. Give it 3 months. Only 3 months you set aside some time, and you will be really surprised at the results that you would see. Step number 4, the SLR technique. Now, when you have created this time aside, what are you going to do in this 1 hour? So I'm going to share with you the SLR technique, and this technique is my favorite. It is I think I have, developed this technique called as SLR technique. I share it with all of my students, and we follow the same technique in our, classes as well. So the SLR technique is very simple. It is a combination of speaking, listening, and reading exercises. So speaking exercise, you are going to choose a topic every day and speak on it. Yes, just start in the mirror, okay, or record yourself, talk to yourself. Don't think that it is going to be embarrassing. Don't think that how am I going to talk to myself. I am talking to myself right now, right? And I have done this throughout my childhood, throughout I was growing up. I have been talking to myself, and that is how I have improved my confidence and my speaking skills. I still remember when I was in school, after I came back home. I remember my school used to end at like 3:30 something, and at 4:30 there used to be a very pretty sunlight that used to come into my room exactly in front of the mirror. And I used to stand in front of the mirror at that golden hour. I used to look at myself, I used to admire myself, and I used to speak. I used to talk to myself. I used to imagine, what if I'm giving an interview? What if I am, giving a speech? What if I'm talking to my favorite actor? What if I'm talking to my favorite fictional character? I was a fan of Twilight at that time, guilty pleasure. And I used to imagine that what if I'm talking to, Edward or Jacob? What would my life be then? And I would even keep on repeating the dialogues that I used to love from any of the movies or series that I watched. And that is how I improved my confidence. And there were so many times where I used to, just talk to myself, and my father used to just come in the room and he used to, see like, what is this girl doing? And I used to be very embarrassed that time. But I know now that because I used to do those things back then, I am confident at speaking in English now. Like, I am super confident. If I know I have to speak somewhere in public without preparation, without any, what do we call it? Without any warning whatsoever, I know that I'm going to be able to speak confidently, no matter to whom I am speaking, right? So that is something that really helped me with my confidence. So you also do that. Try to speak to yourself, and it would be better if you record yourself, because then you would actually see the progress. Like, if you start day 1 and day 30, you are going to see a lot of improvement, a lot of progress. Trust me. I listened to a self-improvement podcast by Raphael Ellison, and it is so amazing. I make sure that I make it a thing to listen to it every day, and it really helps me with my pronunciation, with my vocabulary, and it also helps me understand things about the nuances in the accent, in the pronunciation. And I try to use those words, take those vocabulary, use those sentences, use those ideas and those examples whenever I am talking to somebody else as well. So for example, in the morning I listened to how to overcome your problems, or how to get rid of stress and anxiety. And the same day, if somebody talks to me about stress or anxiety, I have so much to tell them about it, because I have listened to the same thing. And this is really so amazing. You're going to gain a lot of knowledge as well as a lot of ideas, and it is going to help you improve your English so much. So I would suggest you to listen to a podcast every single day. And lastly, from the SLR technique, reading. Now, I don't think I need to get into the depth of why reading is going to help you improve your English, because everybody knows it, right? Reading is going to help you improve your English because of the words, the vocabulary that you read. See, Vocabulary just means the number of words that you know and you use every day. And there are two kinds of vocabulary. One is active vocabulary, means the words that you repeatedly use. And the other is the passive vocabulary, means the words that you know but you don't use. If I ask you what is the meaning of this word, you would know, but you don't generally use it. So what we want to do is we want to make our passive vocabulary into our active vocabulary. And how is that going to happen? By reading. Because if you just pick a word from somewhere, for example, you read 10 new words every day, that is not going to help you, because you don't know the background, the situation, the context. And context plays such an important role in understanding the usage of a word, in remembering a certain word. So for example, if I'm reading something and I see a word and that situation, the next time I'm in that situation, I think my brain is going to recall that, oh, that was that word, we can use it now. But if you just read the word, you'll forget it, you won't use it, trust me, it's not going to be beneficial. So reading. And when I say reading, I don't mean read self-help books or books that you must read in your lifetime. No, reading means you can read anything. You can read magazines, newspapers, storybooks, whatever you like. Reading does not always have to be informative or knowledgeable. You can read for fun, you can read for pleasure, you can read what you like. So most of the times what happens is people tell me, my students tell me, ma'am, I don't like to read, I cannot read, I take a book and I can't get through it. The reason you can't read is because you're not picking up the book that you like. If you like fashion, read a fashion magazine. If you like sports, read a sports magazine, or read an autobiography, read a biography about a sports person. Read about the history of a game. You can read literally anything that you want, but read it at least for 20 minutes. And it does not have to be always informative. It does not always have to be knowledgeable. You can read whatever you want. As long as it's in English, you're going to improve your vocabulary. The fourth step is to get a mentor. Now, I know with all the things that I've said, you can improve your English all by yourself. But if you want to take it a step further, you want to up it a notch, you need a mentor. Find a person who is going to correct you. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a co-worker. Just ask them to, correct you whenever you speak incorrectly. Or you can even try to get some classes, or you can find coaches that are going to help you improve your English. And as we are on that topic, I would like to tell you that I myself take spoken English classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day. And the registrations for the new batch have just opened. The batches are going to start on 8th January. So if you want me to train you personally, you can join my classes as well. So you can just comment down below for the classes, or you can just go on to my Instagram page. I have linked that in the description as well. Just DM me on Instagram that you want to join the classes, and I'll share the details with you. So if you have a mentor, somebody who's going to be responsible for you, accountable for you, so it's going to help you a lot, because now you know that this person is going to check on me if I don't do my daily practice. If I speak incorrectly, this person is there to guide me, which is basically what I am going to do. So getting a mentor really helps. And lastly, journaling. Journaling is one thing. If you're not doing anything to improve your English, just do journaling, because it is so helpful to think in English. When you're writing, your brain is directly thinking and putting it on the paper. So maintain a journal. You can write about anything, how your day was, what you're feeling about, what are your goals, and it is going to be so helpful for you to improve your English, because you are going to think in English and you're going to actually use words. Your passive vocabulary is going to come to your front of the brain. You're going to use it and it's going to convert it into active vocabulary. I journal religiously every single day. If I miss it at night, I do it in the morning. I really vouch for journaling, because journaling is something that has changed my life and it has improved my communication skills as well as speaking skills a lot. If you don't know what to journal about, there are a lot of journal prompts that you can get on the internet, which is basically like questions that are going to help you to write what you want to, what you have to write for that day. And if you don't want to take that effort also, there are prompted journals wherein on each page you have a prompt, you have a question, you have an idea, and you have to just basically fill that. And journaling is so much fun. It gives you so much insight about yourself and it's going to improve your English as well as your life. So journaling. And that was it. Those were the 5 things you need to do if you want to improve your English in 2024. It's not that difficult. It's not that stressful. So I am very hopeful that you would be able to do these things, and just let me know how it goes, right? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share this with your friends. Comment down below what are the things that you are going to do to improve your English. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.